Hi, I'm Troy,
I'm Keith.
and I watch a bit of television. I leave it on droning a lot of times when I'm not doing anything else, and then there's certain things I actually put the laptop down and I watch. And I've noticed as the demographic, the consumer hog demographic expands and diversifies, um, that there becomes a need to sort of drop an understanding of that the culture is becoming more diverse and actually calling more attention to the differences than if they just did the commercial or didn't mention anything. I'll give you a great example on WKRP in Cincinnati. When Les Nessman meets Venus Flytrap, the first thing he does is offer a timid hand and say, "There certainly are a lot of Negroes in sports," as if to be accepted into the club. Now you're down. And I've noticed only I've never walked into McDonald's. I don't know about you. I mean, you eat McDonald's. We all are guilty of being in the middle of something else and can't run back to the house and fix something up to the kitchen. We're always going to have that once or twice a week where we stand there in line like the foul-mouthed American hogs that we are and tell some lady behind the counter, ow, what we'd like to sink our fat faces into. And the one thing that I've never noticed in the actual McDonald's, and I feel like I should sue them at some point for false advertising, I don't go in there for the meal. I don't go in there for the bargain. I don't go in there for the snack wrap available for a limited time only. I go there to look at the other people sitting at the tables and see a Korean lady, a white hipster type guy, and a non-threatening black guy, usually wearing a university logo sweater. I want the Asian girl sitting with the Latino guy while the handicapped kid is putting a straw up his nose. I never see that diverse group of what Stewie Griffin refers to as a nauseatingly diverse grab bag of genetic party favors. I never see that at McDonald's. I see actual families where everybody is the same, either the same race, or you might have a married couple and their children are of an appropriately hued because the parents are it's a married couple, a biracial married couple is what I'm trying to say. I've never seen this coalition of the willing sitting there stuffing their faces with snack wraps, and I'm sure have you ever seen these people
I
in real
want.
life?
Well, yeah, it is surprising. Well, I mean, any restaurant you're going to go into is going to be a product. The clientele are going to be a product of location and demographic in terms of how expensive the food it is, what kind of food it is, so on and so forth. Let me, for a moment, building upon what Troy said, take you back to the deep dark days of the 1980s, where every commercial that pandered to black people, there was rap music, there's a basketball in there somewhere, if not outright just playing damn basketball. The sunglasses, what do they call those? The wraps, the head,
Do rags
the
and Kangol
right,
hats.
do rags, the backwards hats. Yeah, Later on in the '90s, you had bling and the gold teeth and so on and so forth. And I'm surprised. I understand appealing to a demographic is one thing,
But condescending.
and then just outright condescension. It's like, this is what we think of black people, or this is what we think of white people, because they have the same thing for white people too. They have
We
the
travel exclusively in minivans.
the good looking white couple with the 2.5 kids in the 3-car garage, and the guy's always got on like a nice either button down shirt or a polo shirt. His shirt's tucked in. The chick, she's always got a purse and a nice blouse or sundress or something. All very wholesome, heart of America looking couple. And honestly, I don't watch as much TV. I don't watch commercials at all because I download everything. But uh, I don't know if they've ever appealed to other nationalities like Indian or Chinese or even European, Irish, Scottish, whatever, in that same way. But I know they've done it with white people, and they've done it with black people extensively. Now, again, and now we've gone to the other end of that spectrum, which is the overly diverse, unrealistic view of, as equally as unrealistic as the other end of that spectrum with the stereotypes versus the progressive liberal types.
Right, and I'm not. I mean, obviously, during the course of the workday, if you're cubicle mate or your sector co-worker, and you happen to be that, one of you guys is Irish, and one of you guys is black or is Indian, and so the two of you go grab a bite at lunch. That's not the issue. The issue is when you get what is clearly the understudies for Up with People. When you get the variety show wham bam singers.
It's like the big box of cereal. You could get the little. It came in the big case, the long thing, and it had the little boxes of cereal. You had Fruit Loops and Corn Pops and Corn Flakes and Fruit Loops and whatever else. It's this cornucopia of cereals. Apple Jacks, same thing.
Right.
These commercials, every commercial for everything nowadays has become the long box of cereal. There's a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this. And it's completely unrealistic. But I understand. Now, don't get me wrong. We're not decrying, marketing either. And the camera, I'm clearly moving away.
You caught us during the big earthquake. Go back and do that just for a second. Oh boy,
I'm moving around.
Chaos.
I'm rocking and it's causing anyway. No, not rocking, but rocking in the chair. But anyway, there's appealing to a demographic is a smart marketing strategy. The same way that racial profiling is good for catching criminals. But again, topic for another video. In order to appeal to that, you want to. It's the least amount of investment for the most amount of return. Say I want to spend $1 million on a commercial. I want to cover as many. I don't want to have to spend. I don't want to have to make a $1 million white people commercial, a $1 million black people commercial, a $1 million kids commercial, a $1 million single female commercial, etc., etc. You want to catch, and there's that aspect of it as well. I understand that, but sometimes we do question the intention. Is the intention to capture that broad market, or is it to keep from hurting anyone's feelings?
Well, I think you're in trouble when a carload of people going through the McDonald's drive-thru are a gangbanger, a rabbi, a white guy that works as a mechanic, and a lady in a pantsuit, and they're all singing Bohemian Rhapsody. You get that impression of how beautiful can we make this? Coca-Cola was doing it in the 70s with I Like to Teach the World to Sing, but that actually just looked like something on the cutting room floor from Hair. It seemed to be reflective of the time. It didn't seem overly pandering. But yeah, now, if I swear to God, if I have to see an Asian guy pop a French fry into a black girl's mouth one more time, I'm either going to get very excited or I'm going to have to go up Rifle Tower and commit homicide. And I just think that when commercials exceed the mandate, that present the product. Oh, we were at Denny's the other day, and it's hard to describe this except that it was showing how generations of families have come together over Denny's. The problem is that the Caucasian father and son were featured in a black and white. It was very 50s. They had, everybody was very clean cut and squared away. The dad had on a tie, and the Denny's logo was also in black and white. It looked like something out of a Saturday Evening Post cover. And then in the new and the here and the now in the 2000 teens, we have a Hispanic father and son. And it's almost like they're saying, "Adios, gringo. It's our time, eh?" It wasn't saying that overtly, but it was giving that impression that the Caucasian father and son thing of the past Latino father and son here now, and wow, and it's a pandering thing to me. It's not even so much a racial issue. It's not even as much a political issue. It's just this corporate spoon feeding, pandering attitude where the whole family stands in line at Walmart and then they show up at the last minute and get a coupon or something.
Or coupon.
A coupon.
Yeah, I won't argue that. Again, where's the line? I mean, the question you should take away from this video: where is the line between appealing to the broadest demographic that you can, while also not being completely overly politically correct? And I think it's all in the motivation.
I mean, right. You have to look at the underlying motive. Well, another thing, you were talking about how some of these American brands have or haven't gotten themselves in trouble on the international scene. The Coca-Cola, when literally translated into Chinese, was "bite the white tadpole," and a Pepsi commercial, which or a Pepsi logo, which included the phrase "invigorate your family, bring old friends together," was inadvertently translated as Pepsi brings your dead ancestors back to life. And most of the Shinto population of Japan was thus not likely to purchase the fine product Pepsi Cola. And then on the World Cup circuit, just a couple of years ago, KFC made an incredible gaffe because the marketing was out of New Zealand, where the stereotypes of fried chicken in African Americans doesn't have that same resonance. And it was simply that a New Zealand football team and a Nigerian football team had made the eliminations to the point that it was versus one another. And so you have the New Zealander, who is the visitor at a home game in Nigeria, is clearly the odd man out because of the team he supports. And this is exclusively what the company is thinking is, this is the New Zealander guy who's gone to one of his team's away games. He's a hardcore footballer, and he shows up in this arena surrounded by native Nigerians and a bucket of KFC chicken, which he proceeds to share with everybody. And it says, when you're the odd man out, it's good to have something to share. And you got a white guy proceeding to hand out Kentucky Fried Chicken to an audience of black Nigerians. And did you know somebody didn't approve of that? It bothered people. And poor KFC, this is their international marketing end. I'm sure if somebody at the home office in Kentucky had to say that, somebody to go, now, y'all ain't going to be able to do that. But they didn't consult the home office, and out it goes. Forgetting, of course, that soccer is gaining a lot of popularity in the U.S. And so here is a football match depicting what in America would be seen as some of the most puerile racism, perhaps since the Birth of a Nation film. So there's that. Marketing is not your friend.
Yeah, it either is or it isn't. It's all in intention.
It's never your friend. I'm sorry.
So
I hate Guitar Center commercials.
It's your two favorite